Have you ever felt like you're smarter than your friends? Or maybe you're more talented, more hardworking, or simply ahead of them in some way? And when you realize that, you start to look down on them, maybe not openly, but inside your mind you feel a quiet pride. I'm better than them. Hello my friends. Welcome back to The Road Growing Up, a space where we share honest conversations about life, growth, and the struggles we face while becoming the people we want to be. Before we dive in, I just want to say thank you to everyone who has been supporting this channel. Your likes, your comments, and your subscriptions mean so much. If you're new here, feel free to join this journey with us. We're building not just a channel, but a community of people who are trying to grow together. Now let's get real. This is the beginning of arrogance. And if we're not careful, this little habit can grow into something destructive for our friendships, for our humility, and even for our future. Let's be honest, being good at something feels amazing when you study harder and get higher grades, when you work smarter and achieve better results, or when your natural talent shines in ways your friends can't compete with. There's a natural rush of confidence. Confidence is good, but arrogance, that's confidence poisoned. The reason arrogance feels so tempting is because it feeds our ego. It tells us, I'm special, I'm different from the rest, I deserve more respect, more recognition. This is especially common in youth, because when you're growing up, every achievement feels like proof of your identity. If you're smarter than your friends, you cling to that as a sign that you're valuable, and subconsciously, you may begin to use your friends as a measuring stick. But here's the problem: when you define your worth by being better than others, you'll always need others to stay below you to feel good. That's not strength, that's weakness disguised as superiority. Arrogance doesn't always look like bragging. Sometimes it's subtle. Let's look at some examples. 1. In conversations, your friend shares something they just learned, but instead of listening, you cut them off and say, "Oh, I already know that." That's easy. It may sound small, but this kills connection. 2. In group work, you believe you're the most capable, so you take control of everything. Instead of working with your friends, you work over them. 3. In achievements, you post your success on social media, not just to celebrate, but to secretly enjoy that others can't match you. 4. In silence, even when you don't say anything, you feel it inside. They're lazy, they're average, they'll never be at my level. And slowly, you stop respecting the people around you. Over time, this isolates you, because nobody likes to be around someone who constantly needs to feel above them. Let me share a story. There was a student named Alex. He was always top of his class. While his friends were struggling with math, he solved problems in minutes. Teachers praised him, his parents admired him, and slowly, Alex started to see himself as different. He stopped studying with his friends because he thought they were too slow. He stopped listening to advice because he believed he already knew enough. At first, people admired him, but eventually, they began to avoid him. Why? Because no one enjoys being around someone who makes them feel less. Here's the twist. When Alex entered university, he met people smarter than him. Suddenly, he wasn't the top anymore. And because he built his whole identity on being better than others, he collapsed. He felt lost, depressed, and insecure. This story happens in different forms all the time. Arrogance may lift you for a while, but when life puts you in a bigger pond, you realize you're not the biggest fish. Psychologists say arrogance often hides insecurity. Why? Because when you're truly confident, you don't need to prove yourself constantly. But when you secretly fear you're not enough, arrogance becomes a shield. Think about it. If you're confident in your knowledge, you can listen to others with patience. If you're confident in your talent, you don't need to mock others' weaknesses. If you're confident in your path, you don't need to compare yourself every second. Arrogance is fragile confidence. Humility is strong confidence. When you're arrogant, you stop learning, because if you believe you're already better, why would you listen, practice, or grow? This is the biggest danger. Imagine two friends. One is talented but arrogant. The other is average but humble. 5 years later, the humble one might grow beyond the arrogant one, because humility keeps the door of learning open, while arrogance slams it shut. So, How do we break free from arrogance? Here are some practical steps. 1. Practice gratitude. Every time you succeed, instead of thinking, I'm better than them, say, I'm grateful I had the chance, the resources, or the discipline to do this. Gratitude shifts focus from superiority to appreciation. 2. Remember your teachers. Behind every success, someone guided you. Parents, teachers, mentors. You didn't rise alone. 3. Expose yourself to bigger worlds. If you think you're great, step into a larger pond. Compete with people on a higher level. This humbles you and reminds you there's always more to learn. 4. Celebrate others genuinely. When your friend achieves something, don't secretly compare. Celebrate. Their success doesn't reduce yours. 5. Stay curious. Instead of shutting people down with, I know that, ask, what did you learn from it? Or, how did it help you? Curiosity keeps you humble. Here's the truth. Life isn't about being better than your friends. It's about being better than you were yesterday. Your friends aren't your competition. They're your companions. You're all climbing different mountains. Someone else's pace doesn't threaten yours. Greatness isn't measured by how many people you're above, but by how many people you lift up with you. When you use your gifts to help, teach, and inspire instead of dominate, you become someone truly admirable. Think of the greatest leaders in history. People like Nelson Mandela, Mother Teresa, or even innovators like Elon Musk. What made them powerful wasn't arrogance. It was vision, humility, and the ability to bring people together. Arrogant people burn bridges. Humble people build them. Arrogance creates fear. Humility creates respect. Which one do you want to be remembered as? So next time you feel that quiet pride whispering, I'm better than my friends, stop, breathe. Ask yourself, is this helping me grow? Is this helping my friendships? Is this the kind of person I want to be? Choose humility, because humility doesn't mean lowering yourself. It means lifting others while still climbing higher yourself. Thank you for listening to this conversation today. If this message touched you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And let me know in the comments, have you ever struggled with arrogance? When you felt ahead of your friends, how did you deal with it? This is the road growing up. Let's keep walking it together.
Mấy phút rồi bạn ơi. Rồi 7 phút tắt đi cũng được. Dừng bắt đầu bạn.